For this lesson, it's Chapter 1, Lesson 5, pages 37 through 42 in your textbook. Our objective is I can understand place value in decimals. So we've been talking about place value in whole numbers up to the millions place, and now we'll be talking about place value in decimals. Our vocabulary is tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. Question 1, the value of the tenths place is blank times greater than the hundredths place. So keep an eye out for that question during the video. Question 2, what is the value of the 8 in this number? So here's a video to help you understand place value in the decimals place.
Same as or different than that of whole numbers. In this lesson, you will learn how the value of each decimal place is related by constructing a place value chart. Numbers are made up of digits in the same way that words are made up of letters. Our number system has 10 digits, 0 through 9. The position of a digit in a number affects its value. When we work with whole numbers in our place value system, shifting from right to left, the value of each place is 10 times larger than the place to its right. But as we shift from left to right, each place is 10 times smaller, or 1/10 the value of the place to its left. A common misunderstanding that students have is not thinking about the place value of the digits when writing numerals. For example, thinking that 16 hundredths is written with a 16 to the left of the decimal point and 100 to the right of the decimal point. That would indicate 16 and 100 thousandths. 16 hundredths is written with a 16 to the right of the decimal point because it's a fractional amount of one whole. Let's take a look at how the decimal place value system is created, starting with the thousandths place. We can count out thousandths until we have a group of 10. Is there a larger unit we can make? We can make 1/100th. Because it takes 10 thousandths to make 1/100th, we can say the value of the hundredths place is 10 times greater than that of the thousandths place. 1/100th is 10 times as much as 1/1000th. What if we count out 10 groups of hundredths? Is there a larger unit we can make? We can make 1/10th. Because it takes 10 hundredths to make 1/10th, we can say the value of the tenths place is 10 times greater than that of the hundredths place. 1/10th is 10 times as much as 1/100th. If we continue, we can count out 10 tenths and make the next largest unit, which is 1. Because it takes 10 tenths to make one whole, we can say the ones place is 10 times greater than that of the tenths place. Now that we're in the whole number section of our place value chart, we know we can continue grouping 10-like units in each place. Each successive place is worth 10 times the place to its right. If we use a place value chart to examine this relationship, we can see as we move from the thousandths place to the hundredths to the tenths, and the tenths to the ones, each place is 10 times greater than the place to its right. 1/100th is 10 times larger than 1/1000th. 1/10th is 10 times larger than 100th, and 1 whole is 10 times larger than 1/10th. So it seems like the decimal place values have the same type of relationship as the whole number place values. What about as we move from left to right? Is the relationship the same? Let's start with 1 whole and use models to help us examine the relationship. We can see as we move from the ones place to the tenths place, the value decreases from 1 to 1/10th. The value is 10 times smaller. 1/10th is worth 1/10th the value of 1. This means it would take 10 1/10th blocks in order to get 1 whole. If we continue and move from the tenths place to the hundredths place, the value decreases from 1/10th to 1/100th. The value is 10 times smaller. 1/100th is 1/10th of 1/10th. This means it would take 10 1/100th blocks in order to make 1/10th. As we move from the hundredths to the thousandths place, the value decreases from 100th to 1,000th. The value is 10 times smaller. 1,000th is 1/10 of 100. This means it would take 10 thousandths blocks in order to make 1/100th. If we use a place value chart to examine this relationship, we can see as we move from the ones place to the tenths, to the hundredths, to the thousandths, the value of each place is 10 times smaller than the place to its left. 1/10 is 1/10 the value of 1. 1/100th is 1/10 the value of 1/10, and so on. The relationship is the same as that of whole numbers. So in order to answer our original question of the relationship among the decimal place values being similar to whole numbers, we can see as we move from the right to the left, the value of each place is 10 times larger than the place to the right. But as we move from left to right, each place is 10 times smaller, or 1/10 the value of the place to the left. The relationship is identical. In this lesson, you have learned how the value of each decimal place is related by constructing a place value chart.
If you need additional help, page 41 has your homework helper and it gives you that place value chart like the video discussed. So look back at the two questions that we had and write those down. And question 1 was said a lot in the video, so if you can't remember that one, go back and watch that video again.